Morning, guys. Yeah, I'll get a biscuit in a minute. Here we are with John. I thought I'd do the introduction while he's at his mouthful. Here we are in John's workshop, and John's really good at building big gliders and other things. Well, when I say really good, anyway, he's enthusiastic. Bless him.
Enthusiastic.
Yeah. So, yeah, he's going to show us what he's building. What is it you're building anyway?
A Slingsby T21 Sedburgh.
Sedburgh?
Yeah, Sedburgh.
Oh,
I think maybe Sedburgh.
Sedburgh, yeah.
A T20. It was what the RAF used, I believe, for training, basic flight training for their pilots.
Oh, right.
Back in the
So it's a two-seater, isn't it?
50s, 60s, I think, something like that. So it's a two-seater, side by side. It's the first real, I think, real vintagey sort of, if that's the word.
What year would that have come out then?
I think it's about 1960.
Oh, not that old then.
Not. Or was it the last? I did read. I should have read up some on it, but some. But it was certainly. It may well have been. I think this version, because there were several versions, I believe, and this version, the latest one was about 1960. I think I'm right in saying that.
Right. There's still some flying.
Oh yeah. You can go to any glider club, and they'll be there, and they don't. I mean, they're not super soarers or anything like that.
Right.
You know, I enjoy the building just as equally as much as the flying.
Yeah.
And I mean, they don't have to stay up forever for me.
Because we're not blessed with slopes around here which are easily accessible by car. So anything
big, you've got to hoist up.
Lug up. Yeah. So this one's going to be towed up. Yeah.
I think I like slow, steady flight that looks realistic. As much as possible. That's what I like to see. So obviously, I think the bigger the glider, the more realistic it will be, because it will fly slower. And it'll be a lot more steady. And I think some of the best part for me almost is when they are coming into land.
And you actually lined up on the runway.
And you're lined up on the runway, all nice and steady. And on the odd occasion that happens, and that. You know, and you get a really nice greaser of a landing, and I think that is, that's what, for me, we like to go up nice and high and all the rest of it, but it is nice to see the glider.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. Which is where a lovely slope like Ivanhoe Beacon or something would be fantastic, just to go up and down.
Up and down, absolutely, yeah. I mean, you never know. I mean, we have chucked off some big scale gliders that. Not me personally. I think there's a Ventus loafing around here somewhere, but I like Aerotow. I must admit. Yeah,
it's another angle to the whole experience, isn't it? You know, it's quite exciting.
Yeah, and it's a team effort as well. It's not just you. You know, chucking something up through. Yeah, and I like. Building in wood. I'm not desperate about.
You're a good old balsa basher then.
Yeah. I mean, there's a lot of some character, and also a wooden construction is just so much easier to repair.
True.
As well, and it's something that you can see right from the start. Each couple of hours that you put into it, you progressed, and then you come back along. Add a bit more wood in, and you can see it starting to form and grow, and it becomes more and more exciting, and then you become more and more obsessed with going in and doing a bit more.
As Sal said, it is an obsession, isn't it? Yeah. Until eventually you're here at 2 a.m.
Well, that's right. I think it's. I've always said it's a bit like a firework. You know, it starts off and it's doing all its thing, and then as it comes towards the end, it has a bit of a spurt. But yeah, I think it becomes as you see it really taking form. It becomes really, really exciting. But of course, you forget just how much work there is in even finishing a model. Once you've done all that basic stuff, it's still...
Yeah. Well, the old saying, the last 10%
Yeah.
takes 90% of the time.
Possibly.
Yeah. Well, let's have a look at see what you've done. Who's the designer?
Chris Williams is the designer of this particular model. It's quite old now. It's been around, the design and the plan.
Full house?
Yes, full house. Spoilers, ailerons, rudder, elevator, and tow release tucked in there.
And it's 4.5 meters?
4 meters. A lot of wing area.
Have you started the wings yet?
Yep, wings are done.
Oh, we'll have a look at those in a minute.
Yeah, minus the ailerons.
Of course you've done the wings because you did the laser setup.
Yeah, I see. So it all started off building the two sides, this part, putting in all the diagonals, two sides, and then putting them together and putting the cross pieces in. The difficulty was this quite extreme bend.
Oh yes, 16th ply?
Yeah, I use basswood, not spruce. It's just so much easier to sand, to cut, to bend.
Right.
And bending spruce is really difficult, but it goes right through, right up to here. And what I used in the end, courtesy of Charlie, a friend of mine, was a wallpaper steamer.
Oh right.
And a constant stream. Put the tube from the wallpaper steamer in the vise, and then I was able to put this side and the two pieces of basswood that come, the two longerons around here and the cross pieces, over the steam and hold it there. And then I held it in a vise up here somewhere in a clip, with a weight on that end, and it held it bent. And it took a couple of attempts, but it worked quite well in the end. But it is really quite extreme. A couple of the joints came undone. I used white glue, set glue, speed bond, for nearly everything. But the heat from the steam and whatnot did start to debond it a bit. Right. But I mean, it was only a couple of joints, and it was able. But the main, I got the bend. It was pretty good. I think it may be slightly off. I think it's probably slightly bent more one side.
Well, it's wood. That's the beauty of wood, isn't it? Yeah. Nothing's the same. Yeah.
But once that was done, and I got my front former in, it's all held together, then the rest of it came together quite well. Yeah. Quite easily, really. Yeah. It's an unusual wing mounting centre section. Something I hadn't done before, but it has two formers down the middle, which are bolted to these the fuselage bar. You can see the bolts just there.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and there's a couple of bolts in there, so it's glued and bolted. Two plates.
Is that as full scale? Do you think?
I don't know how they put it. How they do it.
Coffee there, John, in your dad's RC mug hanger.
Yeah. And there will be, so that will go in. So it's actually a very short. It's just one piece of flat steel that will go through.
It's buried over here, I think. Yeah.
Through the centre pylon. So it doesn't seem very much.
Doesn't, does it?
For a 4 metre.
But when you think actually the wings are flying, and this is quite light now, only hanging from under the wing. So it's not a massive. It's not like it's got pilots in and stuff. It's quite a light structure under this, isn't it?
Yes, I suppose. Yeah. I suppose. And also, but to help out too, there'll be two struts.
All right, yeah.
That come up to the wing.
What are they made of?
Balsa, ply, and I think there might be a bit of carbon in there as well. Yeah. But I'll just wing it as it comes. Yeah. What I just need to work out is an adjustable fixing at this end of the strut and at that end of the strut as well, where it goes into the wing. They're both the same. This is I've forgotten what they call this stuff.
Like the fiberglass stuff, fiberglass sheet. Oh, Paxilin?
Paxilin. That's the
Paxilin,
stuff.
yeah. Haven't used that for a long time.
Yeah.
That's what they use on circuit boards and the like, isn't it?
Yeah. And it really is ever so strong.
Yeah, it's good stuff.
And it cuts quite easily with a hacksaw, little mini hacksaw. And it files easily.
Doesn't it make a funny smell when you cut it?
Yes, it does.
Yeah.
So they're very good for making hinges, not hinges, horns and whatnot. And easy, you can get a nice accurate hole.
Well, that fiberglass sheet does the same stuff, doesn't it? Same thing.
Yes. Yeah.
Basically,
yeah.
The modern version of it, I suppose. Yeah. Haven't seen that for years.
So my problem at the moment, which I've been working on, and I'm getting there, I think, there's also a little incidence tube through there, which a steel rod will go through into the wing.
Right,
and it's all flat.
The centre section's flat, and then
no, there's a very slight. I did have to ring
two-piece wings. It's not three-piece.
No, it's two-piece wing.
Yeah, that is the centre section in effect.
Yeah, yes. When I say
the wing has a dihedral, and is it angled inside the wing? Is it?
This is angled inside the wing, so it's straight.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Yeah.
But I've always had an issue is once you've built the wing, is actually when you obviously with a slight dihedral, the root ribs angled to fit against that, and I just find it incredibly difficult. So I'm at the moment I like it. I want it to fit fairly tightly. It doesn't want to rock about or anything like that. No. So I'm having to put a little bit of balsa wood on it, and sand it and plane it
to perfection to
get it to fit.
I think on one of mine, I glued this rib in on the wing last. The outside piece. So that was hard up against the centre section. The wing went on glued. Any little gaps it was glued mostly, but any little gaps were filled afterwards. So, but you had that perfect fit.
Yeah.
More than trying to get it perfect and put it on and fettle it. It was just there and just pushed it on and glued it.
Yeah. I think next time I'll look at a slightly different way of trying to do that, so I don't end up with this. It takes quite a lot of time. Trouble is in here, it's such a small space, trying to fit a 2 metre wing each time onto here, tight, or disturbing everybody through
in the house. Yeah.
However,
so that's basically the fuselage construction done, isn't it?
Yeah.
Is this a hatch?
That's going to be a hatch. I'm going to make. It's just another bit of which I just screw down as sort of access to the rudder and the elevator.
So it's closed
loop on the
what's the black tube
rudder
there?
And for the elevator it's a push rod.
What is that, the black tube?
That's the black tube, yeah.
Right, carbon is that?
Yeah, as you can see.
Oh, I see. Yeah.
So and this is how this works. Oops. We'll just take that off. So look at that. And so if you hold that, Cliff.
It's light actually, isn't it?
Yeah, and then this goes down the fuselage and it's supported at this end, and then the little steel rod that's on that just goes into a tube on the elevator, right on there, and then when you hold it like that, you get that.
Oh, how neat is that? Yeah, that's good. That's is that as per full size?
I've no idea.
No,
I don't know.
That's very effective, isn't it?
But that does work.
You're going to put a plate on the outside of that as well?
Yes.
Yes. You don't want it pushing out.
Yes,
just
I will.
As a peace of mind.
Yeah. Good thinking.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, I think that work. I think actually, it may be the other way around, but it doesn't really matter.
No.
But that's how that works,
really
and it's ever so simple.
Yeah, and you can. So you'll assemble this at the field.
Yes. Yeah.
Because.
Yeah. It's just bolted on.
Yeah. And interestingly, you've got steel bolts. So you're going with steel bolts.
Yeah. Possibly.
Because this is an issue that came up on Rob's video.
I know it's a bit of extra weight, isn't it?
He had a hollow nylon bolt which broke when he did it up. I said, oh, I've not heard of those. I've only used solid nylon bolts. And then in the comments, someone said, actually, they are supposed to be hollow, so as they do break before the balsa wood breaks. So if you've got steel bolts and you should hit the tailplane, it's going to be the balsa wood that breaks, not the bolts.
Yeah.
It's your weak link in the system.
Mm-hmm.
So
I'm not going to hit anything, though.
No, but we know there's a lot of gorse up there, isn't there?
Yeah.
It would be a shame
to
for that to skew off and smash everything.
Yeah.
Instead of the bolts breaking. In my big Mercury vintage model, I've got 2 bolts and they're nylon. They're solid nylon, but they are nylon. What does the plan suggest?
There we are. Look, actually, on my K7, they're nylon bolts.
Ah, excellent. There you are then.
It's one nylon
Teaching
bolt.
you to suck eggs there.
Yeah, but they are solid. But yeah, I would go with. It might well be a good idea.
Yeah. Excellent. Yeah. Good.
I haven't got a great canopy to worry about on this model. It's just two little windshields just there. What I was going to do with this was spend a bit more time on making the cockpit area a sort of nice and scale, rather than just cramming a couple of these chaps in there.
Oh, not those chaps. They're too small, aren't they?
This is quarter scale.
No, I was looking at those.
Oh yes, no.
They're children in comparison, aren't they? Let me just put this down a minute.
Yeah. But I've got to have a bench seat across here. These I put in these too prematurely. You probably can't see, but there's.
Yeah, I can see on this one.
Yeah. I see. Either side. These are actually little cupboards in the full size.
Right.
So you put your flask in there and your map.
Right.
So I've got to just cut those out, and the control panel, the instrument panel, is in the centre.
Right. What made you do that then?
I don't know.
Okay.
It was just a bit of excitement.
Yes. Do the just going back to the windshields, do they have little metal frames around?
I think it might be a little bit. I'm thinking it's sort of like a leatherish.
Oh, really?
Around the outside of around the exterior.
Perspex, was it? I suppose.
Perspex. Yeah. Oh, well, I suppose so.
Yeah.
So I'm thinking of it maybe some sort of a plastic tube that I can cut in half lengthwise and just slot over the edge, over the raw edge.
It can work.
And maybe also across here. I think there is a sort of a.
Oh, right.
I'll stop you hurting your forehead when you come to a halt.
Oh, right. Okay. Yeah. With that in mind, you could have left that proud by 16th, couldn't you?
Yeah. Do you know what, that crossed my mind, but it's too late.
Yeah.
Too late.
Yeah.
There's slots in here.
On the next one.
On the next one.
Yeah.
Slots in here for the safety belts.
Oh, right. Yeah.
Let's just come over the shoulders.
Yeah. Joysticks are going.
Yes.
Of sorts.
Yeah. I think of something.
And has he got a name? Did you made him yourself?
This was given to me by a good friend, Gordon.
And it looks just like him.
Gordon Neat.
Yes, he's got huge legs.
He's quite long-legged, isn't he?
He is, isn't he?
Yeah.
But it's the legs that differ in a human. Normally the top half is pretty much the same. Yeah. You could do a little animation. I've done animation videos, little stop frame, so you could get him move him into a new position every time, so he could actually climb in.
Oh, I see.
It would take an hour to do with about 1,000 pictures, but it looks fantastic.
Well, he's got to have a mate as well, hasn't he?
He's very light as well, actually, isn't he? Yeah, he's good.
I made. I haven't got one that I made. Was he in here? He may well be in there, but I've made them out of foam before.
Not foam.
The head on a couple that I've got are 3D printed.
All right.
And then you just paint them.
Yeah.
And stick a rod up, and I just made a little wooden peg type stick body, and then covered it in foam, and then
ideal.
Maggie made a couple of a bit of a wardrobe.
Yeah.
But this is
nice.
this is just
Very
come
nice.
lucky. It's ready to go.
Yeah. Ideal. Well, that's a very impressive looking machine. When do you reckon you're going to have it airborne then? It's
Summer.
What's February now? So summertime.
It'll probably be August, I think.
Yeah.
By, you know, there's other things, the holidays and whatnot get in the way.
I'll be there with my camera.
Yeah. Yeah. I'd love a maiden. It's something about a maiden. It was almost better watching somebody else's maiden, actually.
Well, yes, you're the one on the stick.
The entire inside of all of the nose from here forward is a couple of layers of maybe even 3 in some parts, layers of chopped strand fiberglass.
Oh yeah.
And that has really stiffened it up.
Oh yeah. The chopped strand is good, isn't it? Because you can mould it easily into little areas.
And then one of the final things on actually is that there is also a skid.
Oh, that's heavyweight. And what do you have, like rubber tubes?
Yep.
Oh, you've glassed the outside as well. Oh, look at them. Gosh.
So they'll go on the.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's it. Yeah. A couple of those bolted through. Got the holes done through it.
Yeah, just the right amount of squashy there as well, isn't it?
So
not too much, not too less.
Yeah.
You're going to put another tube on the inside.
There's another one here somewhere.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How did you bend this ply? Was it lots of laminations?
It's laminations.
That's clever.
Yeah, laminations, and then just that should be nice and strong. The rudder is in 2 separate parts. That goes on the end of the fuselage, and then Robart hinges.
Do they? So how does the? Is that glued to the tailplane, or?
Yeah, I think it is.
Yeah, yeah.
I mean, it's on permanently.
Right. Yeah.
Let's get rid of that.
That's what I did on my big vintage model again, the Mercury. The fin and is fixed to the tailplane.
So it's a nice looking rudder. I think
it is, isn't it?
Having sort of, but that, and I also the covering. I have an extension over the what do you call that thing? Fin post. So that the rudder sits inside it, and you don't get a gap.
Very efficient.
So that will just then go on there like that. So it's
gorgeous.
It's as big as the models we used to build when we were.
Yes, that was the span, yeah. And weren't they big, So what's that, 30-inch or something? It's pretty big.
The ailerons will be a similar shape to these, which you'll see in a minute, but I haven't made those yet.
What a wing. They're big.
Yeah.
We'll only look at one.
A lot of covering.
Have you decided what you're going to cover it in?
No. Right, so you can see that's where the aileron will go.
Let me stand this side.
Oh. Right across there.
Oh yeah. Does it taper? Is this the plan?
This is the
Oh, I see that. So it goes to
the centre half of the wing is all constant. It's exactly the same. It's just a lot of it. And the spoilers, while we're on
the wing,
I've made a quick mock-up of how I think it might work. So if you just imagine that that it's a letterbox type of, I don't know what you call them, letterbox spoiler. So the idea is that that's actually is a spoiler, and it will sit inside there when it fits, and go up and down. So this is I've put in a horn and angled it back towards the front, so that it will, when I pull.
Oh, yeah.
I'm hoping that's going to work anyway. Yeah. So it will go in there. Like that. Servo here, and then pulling and pushing will operate this. But there is just a few things to iron out. And you're pushing it up. It'll just take a little bit of thought, but it'll work one way or another. But I've never made these before, so
I suppose they are available commercially, but
possibly
who would want to do that?
So this again, it's all balsa, all and basswood. I don't use any spruce.
What size are the main spars then?
1/4 by 1/2, top and bottom, all the way along. With and from the centre to the end, the spars taper.
Oh, do they?
They taper to 1/4 inch square.
What are they? They're 1/4 by 1/2.
1/4 by 1/2 now. So from this point to the end, they taper to 1/4 inch square. There was just I had to think a little bit. The top surface of the wing is flat, totally flat.
Right.
It is only the bottom spar that has got dihedral in it.
Well, you can see just sitting on the bench, can't you, V?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
but the wing itself has a dihedral.
But the whole wing
where
itself
it goes
will
on
have
the centre section.
Yeah, but it's not very much.
But this adds to it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And between the same as a lot of construction there, but there is webbing, vertical grain webbing.
Yeah, both sides?
Both sides. No, one side.
Yeah, I was going to say one's fine. But...
I've put it on both sides down here.
Right.
To give me a bit more restraint.
Well, for what it adds weight-wise, it's not worth.
And I've also extended the wing joiner only went to here, to 3 ribs in. I've extended it, so it's a longer piece in there. I mean, I should have made these out of plywood. I forgot really, but there is going to be a 16th ply covering all the way across there and down there. So that will, on top and bottom, that will stiffen it all up and give it the strength.
It will. Yeah, enormous. Quite a small trailing edge, actually, isn't it? Given this, is there any sheeting to go here apart from the cap strips? There isn't.
Apart from cap strips, no. That's it.
Quite delicate, really.
Yeah, there's actually, you know,
when is it a sandwich?
It's a sandwich.
Ah, yes. Let me put my glasses on. Ah, right. Okay, so it's ply top and bottom.
Ply top and bottom, and then a balsa between.
Yeah.
I mean, when you first put it on, it's actually, the end of the ribs is nothing. You think, well, that'll just snap off. But by the time you build it up, and then you put your cap strips on, that is really stiff. It's quite amazing. I mean, the whole wing is really, really sloppy to start off with. You think, okay, it's never going to work. But we've all got 1/64th just on the top surface. What do you call those, gussets, which I didn't do terribly well, but I just had to let them. It was not very clear on the plan, but
you've had to let them into the.
I've let them into the sheet, so they're.
Otherwise they can. Yeah, because you want them sitting on the main spar, don't you?
Well, they need to sit on something.
Yeah. They're on the main spar, aren't they?
Yeah, just a little bit. Just a bit. Yeah, just good enough. But.
What's with the step there?
Yeah, I have these. This is where the aileron servo will go. So
you're still working on that.
Still working on that one.
And the wingtip itself, sheet.
That's now a block, and a block, and the aileron. I think I'm right in saying goes right to the end. So that'll be another little.
I think I saw it on the plan up this end actually. Yeah. So yeah. Oh, you got tip skids as well.
Yeah.
Oh, I see. Yeah. Not that that's gonna do much where we fly, but
no.
Excuse me. So colour scheme.
Yep, I want to do it red and white, which is classic. What you see a lot of them. I mean, they do come in all sorts of colours, but red tips, white, and the fuselage is it's got some black on the nose. But that's basically red and white, and the tail plane is red and white. I can't think exactly what combination now. And then down the side, it has Air Cadets, and it also has a nice RAF rondel on the side, and on the square one on the fin, on the front of the fin.
Yeah, that looked nice. Looks stunning, actually.
Yeah, it should look.
Yeah.
It should, that's what. And it's not been added yet. Is the leading edge?
Oh yes, is that solid?
Yes, solid leading edge. The plan suggests balsa. Balsa, I know, dinks every time you touch it. You put a dink in it. So what I'm going to do, I think I'm going to use balsa. I've used basswood in the past, but I haven't got any at the moment.
You could sandwich a piece of ply in the middle.
Yeah.
So the very leading edge is plywood.
Yeah.
I've done that before. Wingtips.
It's a part for me. Oh. Goodness me. But basically, the idea at the moment was to do solid balsa. So it's chunky balsa sheet cut up, and then I will put a fiberglass cloth, lightweight fiberglass cloth, over the D box and right over the leading edge.
That's a good idea. Yeah. What weight cloth? Very, very lightweight, I suppose.
Yeah.
What you've used on the skid, I suppose, in fact.
Possibly. That's the sort of
lovely cup of tea.
Good. Chop strand.
Oh yeah.
That's the sort of stuff I would use.
What's that writing on it? Do not remove from hospital. What's that mean? Oh, it's light, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that'll
Do you use epoxy or fiberglass resin?
Epoxy.
Yeah. I've never tried that, to be honest. Yeah.
I've got some, but it's ever so easy.
Given where we fly with rocks around and what have you, that's a very good
that'll
idea.
Really.
Yeah.
And then this makes this really the 16th balsa. This is really crisp and hard.
Because it's not impossible to put you crack them, don't you? If you pick it up.
When you're trying to, if the steel is sticking a bit, and you so that will go over there, and as I say, just one. Yeah. Right over the front, and
an exciting project.
So
when did you start it then?
July. I ordered it July.
As a short kit.
Yes. Yeah. And so there was a lot of laser cut parts, and then you have to buy all your other balsa and hardwood to make the kit. But it's gone together. I find putting in ribs. I always find I get a difficulty in lining them up. So when you put a straight edge along, you think, crikey, that one's a lot lower than that one. How is that? They're all supposed to draw. And I do end up having to, run along. I've got some. I do like.
Oh, long, yeah.
Yeah, just bits of wood with.
Yeah, I've got exactly the same.
And that very gently long, that way actually stops you knocking, splitting the piece off.
Yeah.
And I suppose what happens in the end is you don't end up with quite the section that you started off with.
No.
But hey ho, they all fly.
Yeah, they do. That's really true.
And
hey ho, they all fly.
Hey ho, they all fly. Absolutely. Yeah. I mean, I think you've got to go really wrong for something not to want to really fly.
The thing is, after the model's finished and you've been flying it for a year or whatever, you can't remember all the little bodges, can you?
No.
You just got a stunning model.
Yeah, and also even a model that's been you make it when it's first made, it's pristine, all per the plan and everything, and then it gets broken a few times, and you put that, and things not quite lined up, but and they continue to fly, don't they?
Yeah.
So, but if you built it in the first place with all these breaks and slight wrong angles, you'd think, oh, what a mess. But
Yeah. Lovely. Okay. We'll stop there, and
thank you for coming along and seeing it.
Well, no, it's I'll pop that there a minute. That's been brilliant. I'm sure all you guys really found that interesting. I know I did. And this is the model. I'll cut to the picture. This is the model that John and Rob lined up with the crosshair laser in the meeting room to get the tailplane and fin and everything lined up, the dihedrals. So I'll put that picture up again because it's so interesting. Didn't invite Meat down, but still, there you go. Rob said two was. I haven't said I was chairman, but yeah, we keep that quiet. Don't tell anyone, guys. So yeah, thank you very much. That's brilliant. Really quite exciting. If I had a long workbench, who knows? Trouble is, you know, I spread myself too thinly with projects. I know I do. I've just built a flying saucer.
Goodness.
On Sunday on the live streams, I was talking about a flying saucer I built years ago, decades, and so I thought I'd build another one, and 3 days later I've got a silver flying disc, you know, with aliens on the side. Still, this is it. I get sidetracked. That's the trouble.
Yes.
So anyway, but this is focused, and you like your tow line gliders.
Yeah,
and
I do.
well, any gliding really.
Yeah.
Have you got any power models?
Yeah, electric. Electric shadow.
Oh, right. Okay.
Yeah. Oh, you see, my models are lined up in here.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Well, we won't show that.
Yeah.
It's to be too dark. That's all. Yeah. All right, then, John. Thank you very much.
But pleasure.
We'll see you in the maiden flight. And if you've enjoyed the video, guys, give it a thumbs up, and we'll look out for the maiden flight. In fact, we may even have an update as you cover it, perhaps.
Yes.
Yeah, it'd be great to come
by all
back and
means.
have a look.
Yeah,
superb.
what I decided.
Smashing. Okay. Cheers,
Right,
guys. See
bye.
you in the next one.